These are the preview exercises for College Algebra Lesson 24. Number 1, solve the quadratic equation x squared plus 4x plus 6 equals 0. I can't immediately see that the left side of that equation is going to factor, so I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula. So let's remind ourselves what that is. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And in this case, a is 1, b is 4, and c is 6. The coefficients on x squared, x, and the constant term. So that comes out to negative 4 plus or minus the square root. 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times a times c, which is 6, all over 2 times a. So this is negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 24, which is negative 8, all over 2. And then I can simplify this a little bit. I'm going to rewrite that negative 8 by pulling out a negative 1 and a perfect square factor of 4. So this will be negative 4 plus or minus. Now instead of negative 8, I'm going to write negative 8 as negative 1 times 4 times 2. And divide all that by 2. Negative 4 plus or minus. Okay, the square root of the negative 1 is I. The square root of 4 is 2. So I have 2I. I still have a 2 under the square root, all over 2. And then I can break this into two fractions. Negative 4 over 2 plus or minus 2I root 2 over 2, and reduce the fractions. Negative 4 over 2 is 2. And then these 2's also cancel, and I have I root 2. Number 2. This is optional, but I'm going to go through it anyway. Okay, so f of x equals a leading coefficient, times x to the fourth minus 3x squared minus 4. And I want to figure out the value of a using the fact that f of 3 equals negative 150. So I know that if I plug a 3 in for all my x's, I'm supposed to get negative 150. So f of 3, that would be a4 times 3 to the fourth minus 3 times 3 squared minus 4. And I know that that's supposed to come out to negative 150. So I'm going to simplify this. I have only one unknown in here. I should be able to solve for it. So 3 to the fourth is 81. 81 minus 3 times 3 squared, which is 27. 81 minus 27 minus 4 is 50. So I have a sub 4 times 50 equals negative 150. Divide both sides by 50, and I get a4 is negative 3. And number 3, a little review here. I want to multiply 3 plus 2i times 3 minus 2i. So I FOIL it. Firsts, when I multiply the firsts, 3 times 3 gives me 9. And then the outers, 3i times negative 2i is negative 6i. And then the inners, 2i times 3 is positive 6i. And then the lasts, negative 2i times 2i is negative 4i squared. And then I can combine like terms, and I can replace the I squared with a negative 1. So my positive 6i and my minus 6i, those cancel. So this is 9 minus 4 times negative 1, which is 9 plus 4, which is 13.